isn't it great that no matter who gets elected, they're going to solve affordable housing? Are they though? Let's look at what the different parties are proposing and how they're going to solve affordable housing. Hi, I'm Paul Haley, Toronto realtor, investor, educator, and speaker. And listen, affordable housing is an important issue. And, OREA just conducted a study. 65% of non-homeowners in the province of Ontario eventually would like to own a home. 80% of young people, 18 to 29, would also like to own a home. But 56% believe that they will not be able to afford a home in an area, the neighborhoods, and the type of properties that they want. So it is an important issue. And I was having a great conversation with a friend of mine yesterday, and he said, it really depends on what people think they mean by affordable housing. And a lot of people think it means the government's gonna make a $3 million house a $1 million house. That's not true. And a lot of times what they really mean is, affordable housing is government subsidized housing. And TRREB just released the numbers. So this is comparing August 2020 to August 2021. Sales are actually down 20%. As we've discussed before, this is not a normal year. We've had a lot of sales front-end loaded in the beginning of the year. But new listings are down 43%. So what that means is, new listings are not keeping up with sales. And, that means that prices have gone up. They've been up almost 13%. And, that's a continued story. We believe that the fall market is going to continue to be very hot in the city of Toronto. In terms of affordable housing, the prices themselves, it doesn't look like it's getting affordable anytime soon. And, rents are also skyrocketing right now. We had a great period where there was a great period if you're a renter, where rents came down, there was lots of supply, but now that supply has tightened. People are moving back to the city, so rental prices are up. Okay, so, how are the parties gonna help? That's a great question. And, really most of the platforms are focused on three key components: increasing housing supply, improving conditions for buyers, and decreasing demand. So let's go through each of those separately. So all three parties have proposed incentives to help increase housing supply. And the Liberals and the Conservatives have plans to build 1.4 million and 1 million respectively new homes. Ostensibly this is a great idea. That's the problem. We don't have enough houses to go around for Canadians and for new immigrants. The problem is, where are you going to build those new houses, right? And are they actually really going to be affordable? And so if I look at the city of Toronto, to build a new condo, it costs you at least $800 a square foot. That's just for the building and for all the fees that developers have to pay. So is that really going to bring affordability or bring prices down and make them affordable? I don't think so. So the problem is, they're going to build these new houses, but where are they going to build them? And the Liberals also, one of their key plans is to convert office space to livable places, which I think, it's kind of one of those ideas you think of when you're brainstorming that just, really doesn't pan out. Listen, that's going to be really expensive. The building codes are very different, and you're going to be creating some space that now competes with the commercial real estate market. So you're going to be messing up that market. It just seems like a plan that's not very well thought through. All three parties have comprehensive plans to help buyers, particularly first-time buyers, and they're all pretty much focused on helping saving, mortgage qualifications, and some sort of incentives, especially for the first-time buyers. Now, as a realtor, of course, I love to see programs where we're helping buyers, especially first-time buyers. But I do see the difficulty. There is a struggle with supporting buyers, but also trying to be careful not to create too much demand, because that's going to drive affordability in the wrong direction. And a couple of notes on this front. One of the things the Liberals want to do is to ban blind bidding. Blind bidding is where you know the number of the other bids, you just don't know the value. And certainly that would help buyers have more transparency and maybe a bit more confidence in the process, in the system. It's certainly a popular idea in the GTA. The Liberals are also proposing a rent-to-own program. Rent-to-own is, where you pay monthly and you build up a down payment. And they want these rent-to-own programs to be lower than market rents. They want landlords to participate. Rent-to-own programs do exist. It sort of feels like this proposal was created by someone who doesn't really understand how they work. So, I don't think you're going to get a lot of uptake, especially on the landlord side of a program like that. In curbing demand, Liberals and Conservatives both propose banning foreign ownership for at least 2 years, and the NDP propose a 20% foreign buyers tax. Reducing foreign ownership for non-residents, especially on vacant properties, I think that is a good idea. What I've read is it's probably not as big as an impact as maybe we would have hoped. The share of non-resident owners of the Toronto condo market is 2.6%. I actually thought that would have been higher. And the proportion across all homes in Ontario of foreign owners is 3.3%. So not surprisingly, all the parties, have proposals that kind of fall within party lines. Conservatives have a simple approach of, removing government barriers, providing incentives, at the same time increasing supply, removing demand. NDP have lots of great incentives. They seem to be a little more geared towards the renter market. And, the Liberal plan has lots of ideas, some of them good, some of them don't seem that well thought through, in my humble opinion. And, I think it's kind of ironic when governments talk about, improving affordability, because governments, I don't want to say control, but certainly heavily influence the housing market. They control interest rates, they control mortgage rules, they control incentives, they control immigration, right? And certainly through municipal governments and, even provincial ones, they control development and how many properties can be built. And they control the money supply, which is why we've seen such a crazy run up when we have, because, governments are printing money. So, I do see the irony in governments talking about creating affordable housing when, as an example, they're printing $2 billion a week in what's called quantitative easing by buying mortgage bonds, which has the effect of providing lots of liquidity for the housing markets, which, has been part of what has caused this run up in prices. And listen, I get it. All parties want to get elected. They want to be the governing party. So they're going to create policies and programs to address voter concerns. That makes sense. And, I like a lot of these programs. I think, supporting buyers, improving housing supply, maybe decreasing the demand a bit. I think those are all great things. But I feel like they're really just broken promises waiting to happen. I don't think they're going to impact affordability the way in which Canadians think that it should or will. I hope you found that hugely helpful. I am very passionate about real estate, obviously, so I wanted to see what the different parties were proposing, and I wanted to share that with you. If you have any questions about it, please shoot me an email, info@thinkto.ca. Talk soon. Yeah, that's pretty good.